Just a little bit of a heads up, this video does contain spoilers for some of the names of zones in Dawntrail, including the final zone and parts of that in its flavor text that we're going to read on the mount text. So if you haven't got to that final zone in Dawntrail yet, you might want to turn off, and this gives you plenty of time to do so. But apart from that, we're going to keep things as spoiler free as we physically can. Hello and welcome back to another video for Final Fantasy XIV with me, Meoni. This one is kind of like a long overdue thing. I've been working on this in the background, trying to get this done in time for this week. So we've managed to do it. I've managed to get nearly everything to level 100 for obviously the new rewards for getting everything to this orange level. I haven't started on my Disciples of Hand and Land yet. That's for another time. But I thought we'd share this last couple of XP, because it's very, therapeutic to turn that in together and get our last level 100, which in this case is our Gladiator / Paladin. So there we go, stick them with a pointy end. X is our first achievement, which is obviously for level 100 on our Paladin. And we've also got Mastering War 6. And the other day we also got Mastering Magic 6. And there's also another achievement we'll get here, a Life of Adventure 6. Now, Life of Adventure 6 is for getting everything to level 100. As you can see, we've got individual titles, though. For Master of War 6, we have Arbiter of War, and the Master of Magic 6 achievement gives you Arbiter of Magic as well. So those are pretty cool titles. Not quite, as epic as I would imagine. They're kind of running out of words, I guess, to explain you are, excelling beyond everything else. I wonder what the level 110 plus one will be. So this is the main reward then. So typically in a lot of these achievements, you would get something for max level, right? Getting everything to max level. We have had headpieces in the past, and we've also had mounts, right? So we've had stuff like the Amaro Horn before. The previous expansion, we got the Migratory Plume, which is an undieable headpiece. A lot of people were turned off by that, but it seems like we are back to a mount. So maybe the next expansion will be a headpiece as well. So this is the Outrunner identification key. Of course, I'm not going to talk about the potential spoiler implications of where you first see this model in the game. I'll let you enjoy that yourself in the actual expansion. But of course, you do see in the last zone in the game, lots of these models running around actually as enemies. So let's learn this together. It feels like an absolute weight off my shoulders, quite honestly. And there we go, we've learnt the Outrunner mount, which for me is on page 6, and here it is. It says, summon Thorf your Outrunner, a rotund machine built by the Alexandrians. A general-purpose machine, the Outrunner can perform a wide variety of tasks, from the maintenance of facilities and devices to the elimination of dangerous creatures. Its design incorporates a monitor which displays comical expressions in lieu of a face, that it might be more approachable to the public. You will also notice here, this is probably one of the first mounts in the game that has 4 of these interaction actions. The last time we got something like this was the Hippo carriage with the different colored paints. The hidden text says, Outrunner guide unit identified. A quote there of a mechanical sentry. So let's get this on our bar and look at this immediately. Replace the Porksy King there. And what does it look like? So this is the Outrunner then. It is a silver-colored robot with a purple face in the middle. This immediately, to me, reminds me of the Twitch logo more than anything else. I'm not really sure why. I think it's just because it's purple, right? That's probably why I feel that way. And that's the sound effect when you desummon it as well. The way this thing moves then, much like if you've seen any of the other Outrunners, it sort of paddles its way forward, pounding against the ground. That's so good. I love it. Absolutely love it. And then when we're flying, it flaps its it flaps its hands. Isn't that brilliant? And we've got some mount glide going on here as well. This mount is a mixture of me being reminded of stuff like Ozma, but also additionally the other mount that we had where we went inside of a TV screen. Like the reflections on this, like you can see the trees that are there actually being reflected on its surface. this sort of stuff wouldn't be possible, would it? Of course, it's a bit of a moody day here in Favnir, but there we go. In terms of music then, you might be wondering if this has any special music before we get carried away. No, sadly not. But it's not a big deal. I was kind of hoping for the Dawntrail main theme or something, considering, you know, getting everything to 100. You'd think that would be the major reward. So the interactions then, we do actually have virtual tears. That's brilliant. Where it's trying to wipe its face with that emoticon. In fact, your character also reacts to that as well. Let's change to an actual a glamour set that looks half decent. It does the cry emote on your character as well, which is pretty great. And then we have the second one, simulated rage. It really is Twitch chat, isn't it? And your character's like, ah. These queue times, ah. And then we've got disorienting static, which is utter confusion. That's an interesting one, isn't it? Your character looks like she's having a headache or something. Like, I love the fact that they not only have different emoticons, which obviously you might have seen in the storyline of the game, but also, additionally to that, you have the sound effects are different as well. And as you go around, you can see on the back, you've got that kind of rolling static sort of icon. That's cool, isn't it? And then finally, we have number 4, which is Carefree Twirl. Whirl around without a care in the world. So, oh, that's cool. Oh my goodness. Your character is having a great time. Look at her grin. Whee! Kind of like the Adamantoise mount or the Automatoise, but not all the time. I love the way it just spins you around. It's also spinning the globe, isn't it? That's awesome. Honestly, this is a real treat, and definitely one that you want to get. So we've got our sadness, our anger, our utter confusion, and then also spinning around. What's not to love, honestly? Yeah, this is a great mount. Honestly, I thought it was going to be blue for some reason. In my head, I thought that the body of this was going to be blue. I'm not sure why I had that in my head, but it's a really, really cool model, isn't it? Look at the way it glides. It's barely still day here. It's always moody whenever I go to record something. Underwater then, does it have any special animations? That is the question. No. No, we're still flapping around. Still flapping around. Looking good. It's awesome, isn't it? Absolutely awesome. I love the luminosity of this like TV screen in the middle, let's call it. Yeah, I love that. That's so cool. But anyway, the journey to get everything to 100 wasn't especially difficult. Of course, this isn't a difficult thing to do. You'll get it over time. If you are looking for ideas of how to do it then quicker, recommendations to you is obviously one of the things I did for another video is I worked on leveling my trusts up. That was something else I wanted to do to get the different costumes, especially Ishtola, and get all those up. Obviously, fates are a great source of bicolor gemstones. There's obviously a new mount associated with that for the new Turali gemstone vouchers. So fates is a really quick way of leveling, especially if you get the EXP up, well, like bonus up fates, as well as killing the Forlorn if it spawns, or the Forlorn Maiden. Really good tips. Of course, doing your roulettes, you know, you get an absolute chunk of EXP for doing just your main scenario and Alliance Raid roulette. And Frontline is especially good. Definitely get that in, especially since there's the PvP season as well. So if you wanted to get some of your Marmstone rewards, like the Oppressor mount, just a mix of things is the healthiest. One of the things that a lot of people have been doing, and I saw this on Reddit first, so I didn't think of this, is using the Azema earrings. And if you use the Azema earrings, even if you're past level 90s, let's say you're 97 or whatever, and you have that equipped and you eat some food, if you queue into something that's level 90, right, it will actually sink you down, right? Where the earrings EXP, the 30% extra, actually activates again. So even if you're over level 90, you can actually use it. And a lot of people, because the runs have been around 20 minutes with a decent-ish group, maybe less with an even better group, you know, on average like 30 minutes, I would say, Aglaya and Eurosign are like some of the fastest ways to level. In total, somebody else did the mathematics behind this. They estimated that 12 runs of Aglaya will equals enough EXP to go from level 90 to level 100. Again, don't quote me on that directly. Your mileage might vary, especially with rested, things like that. But a 12 is an amazing amount if you wanted to just do something. Let's say there's something you just want to level up, but you don't necessarily want to have much pressure doing it. Like I did a lot of my DPS that way, but I don't normally play like Monk and Ninja. Not my favorites in the game. I've still yet to kind of get to a point where I'm more comfortable in, you know, like the dungeons and things like that with those. So I did those in Aglaya specifically. But yeah, I had some really good time. I think whilst a lot of the jobs haven't changed in this expansion, I definitely enjoyed quite a few. Pictomancer and Viper are some of the best fun you can have in this game at the moment. Quite liked Bard this time around. Played a lot of Picto. Astro, Sage and White Mage are solid. Warrior is amazing, and I love my Dragoon. It's so good. So those are my picks. But yeah, what a fantastic reward. We've got some titles, and yeah, I can't even imagine what the next reward would be, honestly. But yeah, hopefully it's cool. It's also worth noting you can't use the emotes in midair, by the way. That's something that is a bit of a disappointment. I don't think that's something that other mounts could do anyway. Like it was always a ground-based thing. But if you wanted to use your spinny around, you do have to land. But yeah, what a fantastic journey. And there's many more videos that I need to work on. So hopefully you're happy with this one. It took a while to make, as you would imagine. Lots of grinding. And next, we'll probably do some crafters and gathering stuff. Anyway, much love. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.